we're on. Oh, I can put my...
Now I hear myself.
I hear myself. I'm saying we haven't gone over anything yet. We haven't discussed things yet.
I know. We need to get this show on the road here. I am dying.
Yeah, you look like Mrs. O'Wiggins walking in here.
Who?
Mrs. O'Wiggins. Remember from the Carol Burnett show? Mr. Tudbull and Mrs. O'Wiggins, and that's how she walked like this.
What?
Haven't you seen the Carol Burnett? Why do I have to always take you back to
Because you're about 1,000 years old.
I know, but these are epics.
No.
It's she played a character who could hardly. Which is
Jake, do you know who Mrs. Wiggins is?
I do not.
Brittany. Okay.
You know what? All
See?
three of you.
Great. Okay. You're referencing things that are completely and totally irrelevant for our audience.
I bet you when we finish this and I go and look on my Twitter, someone's going to say, "I understand you, Janice."
Okay.
Now
they lie to you.
But anyways, you should explain because the way you walk in here, it took you like 15 minutes.
I honestly don't even know how to explain. I want to lie. Like, I seriously was debating. I'm like, I have to tell people that I'm in so much pain because I sat, like, I can't even think clearly. Like, I've not ever been in, like, pain. Do you know what I mean? Like, constant pain. Like, can't get comfortable kind of pain. And I was like, I need to make something up. Like, I got in a motorcycle accident or a snowboarding accident. No, dude. My back is, like, killing me. Did
you do something on the show?
I think that like set it off, but it's kind of funny because I really don't take any of my own advice. I take some of it.
Yes.
But I gotta be honest, I take some of it. With the food I always do, but with fitness, I don't work that hard because I honestly don't have the time to do it, and I kind of don't need to do it with regard to my weight, right?
You know your body.
I know my body. Like, I get away with pretty much murder at this point. Because I've learned tips and tricks that I can keep myself looking good, but the reality, or not looking good, but fit, but it's like I'm paying for it now because by not being as thorough with my training, I'm so imbalanced with my body. So it's like I don't do enough leg work, so I don't do enough glutes, I don't do enough hamstrings, so my hip flexors and my quad, your body's going to find the path of least resistance. And over the course of your lifetime, if you're not balancing out your body and training your body efficiently, my quads have become very strong, my hip flexors have become, I compensate with my hip flexors, my quads, my psoas, and I'm not firing my glute muscles or my hamstrings as much, so my hips then shift, and I get like, the leg. Try this. Lay on the floor, right, and put both feet straight up on a wall. So you're at a 90-degree angle, right? Okay, so just stick your bum all the way up against go to the corner, right, where the floor meets the wall. Then lay flat on your back. Okay, see if your ankles line up. Yours do, son of a gun. No, I'm like 2 inches off because my hips shift. And so my pelvis like shifts, and it looks as though one leg's longer than the other, which is not the case. For years, I've been able to like muscle through it and get around it, but now it's just like my back is paying for. I think the kids, because I'm carrying 30 pounds all day long, up the stairs, down the stairs, bending over, yeah, and it's just I think that's kind of just put me over the edge, and I'm paying for it now. I'm having to like literally all the stuff I said I would do. I'm gonna stretch my psoas and stretch my quads, and I'm gonna strengthen my glutes, and I'm gonna balance my body. I have to now. I cannot bend. Like, I dropped my iPhone. I was trying to get out the door, and I was Lou, honey, sweetie, can you pick up mommy's iPhone? Because she calls herself the helper. She's like, help her, help you, which. For a while it was kind of aggravating because there's not much a 2-year-old can do. But I've actually trained her. She's quite efficient. She throws my trash away. She feeds the baby. I'm like, I'll go take this bottle, give it to mommy. Go upstairs, get the baby's pacifier. Like, this kid, she's like, it's like indentured servitude. And she loves it. I'm like, Lou, sweetie, get mommy's iPhone off the floor.
But you know what? You said something interesting.
God.
You've got this thing about your body, and so you've been for all this time. You've been very conscious about making sure you work out so not to aggravate it. And all of a sudden, now that you're tired, you're overworked, and you're not being conscious, so the injury is
Oh my
going to
gosh.
bite you in the ass.
It's just gotten to the point where I physically can't get away with it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, which is such a bummer. That's what it means as you get older. Like, you have to do the work. You have to really take care of yourself. And for me, I was like, I'm healthy. You know, my cholesterol's low. My blood sugar's great. My resting heart rate's low. I'm in great cardiovascular shape. And so I don't need to do, like, when I watch Ripped in 30, I'm like, no way. That's crazy. That bitch is nutso. And I don't need to. You know what I mean? I go to the gym and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take a spin class, and maybe I'll take a mixed martial arts class. 30 minutes it up, gotta go. Because I get away with it. Not anymore, man. And when you're in pain, you cannot think straight. I mean, I can't literally. I had like 2 phone calls this morning that were really important, right? One was with HSN about possibly doing a clothing line exclusively for HSN, like all lifestyle, fitness, active, right? I'm on the phone and they're like, Jillian, what's your vision for this? And I was like, what? Like, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
They're probably really
I was like, yeah. I'm like, what are you saying? What? Oh, man. But I guess the moral of this story is, don't think you're getting away with something, because you're not. Anywhere where you cut corners and you think, well, I cut that corner, or I managed to get around this little bit of work or whatever, you will pay. and you'll pay. You will pay.
And another thing you brought up, though, it's kind of a lesson in empathy too, because there's so many people in this world that live in constant pain, chronic pain.
Jeez.
And you don't think about it, like, I'm really sorry to hear that. And someone says, I've got,
or you think it's all in their mind or something. It's psychosomatic.
Exactly. You don't. And then when you aren't, and you go, oh my god,
this sucks.
This sucks, and then you kind of go, this is what this person deals with every day.
Oh, it's brutal, dude. You can't. I'm like sitting in the car and I'm just dying. I'm like, okay, breathe, and you're trying to pick your feet up, find positions, or it doesn't hurt your back. And I'm 38 years old. I feel like I'm 100, but it's just. I think also, it really is that I haven't been training my body in the way I tell everybody else to train their body, but yet I do things that are extremely high risk, or like high intensity, like play tug of war with a 400-pound contestant, wake up in the morning and wonder why I'm dying, because I haven't prepared my body for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, that was a really happening opening sentence.
No, I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say is, it's all about preventative medicine, man. You gotta put in the work, because it will catch up to you. So I called my assistant and like, get me an emergency. My dentist, she's like our PT or physical therapist. She's like, what's the matter with you? I'm like, get the appointment. Stop calling me back and just get the appointment. Say 911. Send up a flare. Oh, jeez, dude.
Well, all right.
Cow.
Well, we'll let you. We'll come back and we'll do a show.
Oh, yeah.
You had to get that up. We are doing a show.
I had to do.
You
I
had to
tried
get
to
that
find a
up.
moral to it. Did you get the moral to it? So it wasn't totally like.
At homes and in your car.
No.
Just nod your head,
No,
because otherwise this is going to go.
No, you didn't. Come on. Yeah. What was it?
The moral is that our bodies in age will change, and we can't take for granted that our bodies are not going to change, and if we don't take care of them, that they are going to come, our bodies are going to come and say, I don't like that, and they're not going to be quite as forgiving.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the moral?
That was it. And if you think that you're getting away with something, you're not.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Oh God. right. Okay. You want to talk about cardio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know you can't do any right now, but I would like to talk about cardio.
Well, you know that I am not a huge cardio proponent because I would much rather you get your cardiovascular workout in through strength training, circuit training, right? Metabolic resistance training, and same way I structure all my DVDs. Basically, it's one exercise into the next exercise into the next exercise, and you can work a little high intensity cardio interval into your circuit. But if you've just done push-ups for chest, I then want you to go into something like squats or lunges. So you're letting the muscle recover, but you're not letting your heart rate come down.
Okay.
However, in an attempt to not overtrain, there are a few times a week where you may want to do just cardio. Because if you've trained your chest, your back, your legs, and they're sore, you want to give them time to recover, but if you still want to get your burn, that's when you do your straight cardio. So sometimes I do maybe 2 cardio sessions a week, and sometimes you just love cardio. So what if you just want to do a spin class? I love spin class. So, you know, I'll jam over to Flywheel and do a spin class or what have you. But here are a few basic rules when it comes to your cardio. If you're somebody who cannot let go of the concept of, no, I like to strength train and I do my, I sit on the lat pull down, I do a set, I sit there. I do a set, I sit there. If you just won't let go of that, which is totally inefficient, but if you're that person and you like to separate your cardio should come after your resistance training because you're going to go through a lot of your available blood sugar, and you need that to have more power because the whole concept behind resistance training is to have power and strength so that you increase your burn and your, performance. You get stronger, you get more fit, and you burn more calories. And then you do your cardio after because it doesn't require that kind of explosive strength or power. All right, so that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, with your cardio, just like your resistance training, you need to mix it up. And you can get, if you're diligent, you can get a full body workout with cardio. So when I do have cardio days, I'll do 15 minutes on the stairs, 15 minutes on Jacob's ladder, and 15 minutes on the row machine. Or I'll
just boom, 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 right after the other.
Yeah, and I'll do 15 minutes on the spin bike, and then I'll do 15 minutes on the incline trainer, and then I'll do 15 minutes, running sprints. But the idea is mix it up. There's a whole host of cardio machines out there. For goodness sake, use them. Change it up because you don't want your body to get into that repetitive pattern. You don't want it to adapt. And if you're doing endurance cardio, you can really get overuse injuries. I'm talking about this right now. But with the contestants, I don't let them, I love the elliptical, I love the bike. No.
Oh, and just live on it.
Yeah, so what I do is I'll write homework for them, and it could be anything from, all right, here's your circuit. It's 5 minutes on the row machine at this intensity, 5 minutes on incline training, 5 minutes on the ladder, 5 minutes on the stairs, and then 5 minutes of jumping jacks, burpees, jump rope, start over. Or it could even be your 20 minutes on the stairs, your 20 minutes on the ladder, your 20 minutes on the bike. Explore different kinds of cardio. You don't want to get too comfortable, ever. Fitness shouldn't be painful, but it should be uncomfortable.
Well, tell me something. When you're saying you do cardio, you do a set of lat pull downs and then you do something. Like, what if you're in a gym? And I know a lot of gyms.
Oh, you're talking about, I'm talking about straight cardio
you're
right
talking
now.
about straight cardio.
But on your cardio day, the day where you're not doing any resistance training. But if it's your strength training day, it should compensate. It should cover both strength training, strength conditioning, and cardiovascular conditioning the way that you train. So if you look at any of my products, whether it's Body Revolution, Ripped in 30, even Killer Abs, you're constantly moving. I keep you moving the entire time. So even if you've just trained a muscle and you need to let the muscle recover, I switch muscle groups so that while one muscle group's recovering, another muscle group is working, the heart rate's staying elevated. And then I'll do a high intensity interval like jump rope for a minute, or mountain climbers, or jumping jacks, or it could even be 30 seconds. Keep that heart rate up, really push it, ramp it all the way up, and then start over. But you're constantly moving. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. I think what I was thinking about was in certain gyms, you know how you have to sign up for the cardio equipment, right? When you get your 20 minutes, or
I didn't think about that.
You know, so
Yeah.
you're in a gym situation, which a lot of them are, where so you're doing lat pull downs, and then there's all this stuff around you. Like, what would you do? You couldn't jump on a cardio machine because they're all booked up.
If you're doing it during strength, you do an interval with body weight. So you wouldn't want to go. You don't use the cardio equipment, the machines during your strength training workout. You do your strength training in an aerobic way, and then you work an interval in. So it would be jump rope, mountain climbers, jumping jacks, and it's
right there
during your circuit. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would look something like if you did a lat pull down, and then you did lunges with bicep curls, and then you did mountain climbers for 30 seconds. Repeat. You don't go back and forth. When you do the cardio equipment on your cardio days.
Cardio day.
Exactly.
So do you always split? Do you always just say this is my cardio day, or do you ever? You do.
I usually do. Yeah. So I'll say, okay, Monday I'm gonna do yoga, and yoga is very chest, shoulders, triceps, quads intensive. You get core work, of course, but there's not a lot of back, or there's not a ton of glutes or hamstrings in that. So then I might say, okay, then the next day I'm gonna focus on back, glutes, which obviously, as we all know, I have not been doing, but I should be doing that. And then I'll go, okay, you know what? I've done strength for 2 days. I need one more day of recovery before I start doing strength again. I'll spin today, or I'll do MMA today. Or I'll do my, 15 on the ladder, 15 on the stairs, 15 on the incline trainer, or whatever it might be.
I'm gonna try that.
You can even do 5 minutes. Man, keep it moving. But the idea is with your cardio, don't get repetitive. Same thing. Mix it up. Try new things. Rowing is fantastic. I've recently gotten into rowing. Love it.
You talked about that you have this is a machine that you can.
They gave me a new row machine that the contestants have on Loser, and it's water instead of the fan. I know a lot of rowers that are like, no, they like their fan thing, but I found it to be really cool. It just like folds right up against the wall and pull it down. Because here's what I've got available to me at my house, which I don't go to the gym that often anymore because of the kids. So I have my incline trainer because it's my incline trainer with no retract.
Right.
So I have that, and then I have my row machine and I have my road bike. So I can run, I can bike, I can incline train, or I can also run on my incline trainer, and I row. So if I'm home, I tend to do those things. Yeah. And then if it's like endurance versus intervals, it really depends on what you're hoping to achieve. So if you do endurance cardio, then really you're going to build your endurance. It's great for performance. But if you're looking for faster results with weight loss, you want to work intervals. You want to run sprints. You want to work at a higher intensity for a shorter period of time. So you can run 5 miles at a 5, and and a 1 incline, and you'll be on the treadmill for an hour. But if you ran for a half an hour at a 7.5, or you ran for a half an hour doing 30-second sprints at an 8, 30 on, 10 to 20 off, you burn way more calories. Yeah. I feel like there's one more question I can answer. What do you think? I feel like because a lot of guys in particular think that they shouldn't do cardio when they're trying to build muscle. The reality is that you can do cardio and build muscle. If you're trying to lose body fat and build muscle at the same time, it's not the easiest thing to do, because to build muscle, you need a calorie surplus, and to burn fat, you need a calorie deficit. So if you're trying to gain, it's difficult to gain muscle and get lean at the same time. You want to do one and then the other. So either gain and then shred, or shred and then try to gain. But you can still do cardio when you're trying to put on muscle for your overall health, but you still need to have a calorie surplus. So if you lift and then you do cardio, well, if you burn 3,000 calories that day, you need to be eating at least 3,500 at least. You still got to build in that surplus. 10% is usually what you recommend, at least 10% over what you're burning. And that's a good number, so you don't pack on fat. It's called calorie partitioning. Those extra calories go towards muscle maintenance, rebuilding the muscles, but you can do the cardio.
Isn't that funny you say that about guys? Sorry,
no.
Because I go to most of the time I work at, I like to go from the beefcake gym, where the guys are going, I live in a smaller town at the time right now. But anyway, but you rarely see the guys on the cardio. Rarely. They're all in there just doing their posing and their stuff like that, and it's all women on cardio. It's amazing. And even when they're done, they hardly stretch. They just go, they kind of shuffle their way back to the change
And the shuffle out.
It's true. And then what is it? I think it's very true. They don't.
In LA, they do it. They do cardio in LA and New York, and then I see them on there running.
That's right. Okay, LA and New York, but all.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just a very feminine life. I know, but it's, and the reality is, men really don't need to do, if they can, but if they're training in the right way, they don't need to do cardio. If they're training in the way that I'm saying.
Right, got it, right.
If they're training in a very metabolic way, they don't need to do the cardio. But, you know, if you want, you know, I'm just saying, it won't inhibit your muscle growth if you're eating more than you're taking in, regardless. Eating more than you're taking in? Holy God. Eating more than you're burning. Oh, I'm having a bad day. Gee.
Okay. Okay. Miserable. Let's get you a little bit. We'll get you a little bit.
My dream, I held your hand on that broad avenue. We crossed the road and never spoke to another as we flew. Left your man alone and dragged, laughing there at us. Romantic boast of London, some explosive blunder.
So we are back, and Jody wants to have a little chat with you.
Good. Jody, what's going on?
Hi, Jillian. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm good, bud. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Well, I just had some questions to ask you.
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time to get to this point, but I have decided that I need to lose some weight.
Okay.
I have 140 pounds to lose.
Okay.
And then, you know, I've done a lot of different programs out there.
Okay.
And I haven't lost weight.
Why do you think that is?
Because I stop after about like
Sorry, Jody.
after like 2 weeks, I get tired. I get bored.
I've done a lot of programs, but then I didn't. Then I didn't. Okay, go on.
I don't know. There's something wrong with me.
No, honey. No, there's nothing wrong with you. Just because you're struggling with something doesn't mean there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, seriously. I've been trying to lose weight for years.
Okay. It does suck. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't suck. The results are great, but yeah, the trying to lose weight part, it sucks.
It does, and I want to be healthy,
Yeah.
and I want to be a good role model for my kids.
Okay.
And this is the time I'm ready to do it.
Why do you think that you stopped?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's your problem.
I don't know. Yeah.
I had a huge, knockdown, drag out, damn near coming to blows fight with a contestant the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And, even Bob and I got in a huge fight about it. And, this contestant, she's getting great numbers, right? She has, the highest percentage of weight loss in the house.
Okay.
And I asked her to do something that was totally, completely reasonable, right? That you'll see for yourself. I asked her to do something for 5 minutes. It was not hard. And especially after 3 months of being on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And she quit. Because she was having a bad day, and she didn't like another one of the contestants, and she just decided she didn't want to do it, and she quit, and oh my God, I lost my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob was like, well, you gotta understand, she's got the highest percentage of weight loss in the house, and I was like, I don't care, Bob. Here's the thing, sure, when everything's going her way, and she gets to play a game and a competition, she's losing weight, but what happens when she goes home and she isn't having a good day and things aren't going her way and there isn't a competition there? Is she going to quit? Is she just going to walk out? Is she just going to give up? You have to understand why you're quitting in order to not quit again. Same thing with another contestant. She kept selling me short, selling it short, right? She'd run for a minute when she could run for 10. She'd do 40 strides per minute on Jacob's ladder when she could do 75. And, again, fighting, the two of us, fighting. And, why aren't you doing it? I'm happy with it. Why are you doing 40 when you can do 75? I don't know. It took us forever to get there. And I was like, Alex, until you can understand why You'll do a minute. When you can do 10, you're not going to understand what brought you here in the first place.
Mhm.
You've got to understand what is happening when you're quitting so it doesn't happen again, or so you can identify it and have a plan in place to safeguard against it. So here we are. We're 2 weeks in. And what happens?
I don't know. I think of different excuses and I make up stuff in my mind. Like, oh, I can eat this, whatever, this half a bag of potato chips. I'll start fresh tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, then tomorrow doesn't happen.
Right. And what's going through? Is something happening that's triggering you?
No, I mean, no,
You tell
I
me.
just like to eat.
I guarantee you don't like to eat more than your desire to be healthy and fit and be that
No,
role model
right.
for your kids, sweetie.
Right.
You got to tell me what the food means to you then. And it means a lot of things to a lot of people. It means a reward. It means freedom. It means something they can control. A lot of times people who struggle or who go to work every day and life is hard and, they've got kids and it's like they live to go to work and they live for the kids and, the finances are limited and it's like, this is mine. This is my treat. These chips, I deserve it and it's what I look forward to.
Yeah,
Is there that?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. But I mean, I don't have. But my life is not hard.